Hello, welcome to our videocast, the pause menu from For the Love of Gaming, where we cover the hottest news in the gaming industry. I am your host, Cory, and joining me is fellow For the Love of Gaming writer and podcast member, Garrett.
Hello, everybody.
All right, this week we've got what we like to call next gen madness. We got some news on the PlayStation Vita. We got some more rumors about the Xbox 720, Nextbox, whatever you want to call it. And then we have some awesome news on the Wii U. So let's get right into it. First up, we got the PlayStation Vita. We got two big pieces of news for it. The price of the PlayStation Vita has always been I don't want to say a sore spot, but it hasn't been, it's a good price, but it's still a little high for a portable system. That's the general consensus. But Sony has given people that have pre-ordered the 299 3G model a little bit of I guess you could say a throw-in. Now, if you pre-order the console, you will get a 8 GB memory card for free, and you will also get a 1 month 250 megabyte, I'm sorry, 300 megabyte AT&T uh, cell phone data plan slash bundle thing, whatever you want to call it. So while this does, give people they don't have to worry about a memory card, it still does have the price of the system with the game, around $350. It's still a little high, but I guess it's nice that they are giving something to people or the early adopters, I guess you could say.
Right. I actually think that price range is pretty good for what the system can do. I'm sorry, the handheld for what it can do and just how much power is behind the thing. The only thing I'm not sure about is the data plan and, having what is it, 3G?
Right.
Right. Just having the internet powered by 3G. I think Wi-Fi would have worked just as well.
Well, I mean, it obviously still has Wi-Fi in it, but I feel like they should have given the same deal to the 249 people. But instead just give them a free memory card or something, and instead of the 250, toss them like a $10 voucher or something to buy a downloaded game. I mean, I just don't see the 3G model selling a lot to begin with. I mean, I just don't think anybody wants an additional data plan on top of, most people that are going to get the Vita probably already have a smartphone with the data plan attached to it. So, I mean, it's nice that they're doing this because, I mean, we've talked about it all the time. It's like, if you get everything, that's a $400 machine. So them throwing a memory card is good, but why didn't they do it for the 249 people as well? Because that's going to be the one that sells a lot more, I think.
Right. Isn't the 3G model already doing not so hot in Japan?
Well, the Vita isn't doing hot in Japan at all, but the 3G model wasn't really expected to do hot. I mean, I just most people have Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere you go in Japan. I mean, you can probably just walk down the street and have Wi-Fi. I mean, not literally, but you get what I'm saying. But
Right.
even in America, though, I just don't see it happening.
Right, and I guess the 3G model is pretty good for those who can't afford it, but, you know, I think if I were to purchase it, I would definitely go for the 249.
Right. I think Wi-Fi is good for almost every gamer. The second piece of news from the PlayStation Vita is that there's been rumors for a long time that Sony would do cheaper games with digital releases day one, not only on the PSP, but it was also going to be on the PS3. But that never kind of happened. Sometimes a game would come out, like Infamous would come out, but it was the same price as the retail. And but for the PlayStation Vita, Sony has confirmed that the digital versions of these retail releases will actually be cheaper. They haven't said how much cheaper, or they haven't given you specifics on anything like that, but they have said the games will be cheaper on day one than going to the retail store and purchasing it. So that's really cool because it was kind of the PSP Go. This reminds me of that. Like there wasn't any really reason to get the PSP Go because the games weren't cheap or anything. There was no incentive to say, "Oh, I can have a PlayStation Portable that can only do digital downloads, but I could also get one that can just buy UMDs, and they're probably cheaper because you can buy UMDs used and stuff like that." But this is awesome news because now this is really going to give people a chance, or not a chance, but a reason to download games versus retail. So
Right, and hopefully, other guys such as, Nintendo and Microsoft will follow in their footsteps, and this leads into a whole new thing of being able to buy a brand new game either at retail or through a digital download, but, you know, give the people digitally downloading it, a break. I mean,
Right. I mean,
10, 15 bucks off the total price. That's great.
yeah, I mean, you're saving on shipping, you're saving on box art, you're saving on cases, you're saving on the disc. Now, does that equal a $25 discount? No, but toss me a $10 discount and I don't have to leave my house, and then there you go. I'd be more than happy to, if Soul Calibur 5 came out day one and I could download it for $10 cheaper and I didn't have to leave, why would I not do that? So
Right.
that's I mean that's just pretty big news because that's kind of the first step to a company actually making digital distribution a focus. Microsoft has games on demand. PlayStation and Sony have, you can download Infamous and other full PS3 games as well as like Xbox Live Arcade and PSN games, but no one's really given a push for digital distribution. So hopefully, like you said, this will push the competition to maybe say, hey, maybe we can do this. So
Right. And I don't want retail games to go out of style. I like having a retail copy, but sometimes it's convenient to just, oh, I've got so much money that I'm willing to spend on a game. I really don't feel like going out. What games are there? Oh, all right, I'll just buy Gears of War 28.
yeah. Oh, if only, if only. But it's I really hope that it's not something stupid like, oh, you saved 250, and I'll be like, oh, well, thank you for giving me no incentive
I
whatsoever.
have a feeling that they're going to try it though.
Yeah, I hope it's at least 10%. The rumors originally were saying as much as 40%. I don't think so. I could see
That's yeah.
10%. Yeah, 40% is just out of that's insane. But I could see 10%. If it's more, maybe 15, 20, I'm down with that. So
Yeah.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you
now moving
ever
on to
seen.
the
Do it
Xbox and Microsoft with the Xbox 720 next gen box, whatever you want to call it. These are more rumors. We don't have anything really confirmed on it, except the only thing we have confirmed is Microsoft says that their new Xbox will not be out in 2012. So that was kind of, there was rumors flying around at the end of last year that Microsoft is prepping a 2012 holiday release of the Xbox 720, Xbox 3, and it would be unveiled at E3 2012, ready for release by that holiday. And a lot of people were speculating because of the fact that Wii U is coming out, so Microsoft wants to fight that, but also they've got Windows 8 coming out as well, and those are supposed to tie in with each other very, very well. Um, so I mean, I don't think that's really big news. I mean, and not surprising news that it's not shipping in 2012. That's a little fast. I mean, after the launch of the 7, not the 720, the 360, after like a 4-month window, I think they realized that they need more time to build up hype. I mean, they announced Connect and they didn't launch that thing till almost what, 15 months later. So
Right. I'm not ready for a new Xbox. I'm not ready for a new PlayStation console, or I'm not even ready for the Wii U. I mean, I kind of like where we're at right now.
yeah, and I mean, I'm one of those people. I really really want a new box. I'm the opposite. Like I've seen what Battlefield 3 can do on the PC. I'm just like, man, I want that on my consoles. And that kind of pushes us into the next topic here is that the next Xbox, there's been rumors just flying around that developers actually have this thing in their possession and they know what's in it. And there's just rumors flying around saying that this guy is 6 times as powerful as the current Xbox. And if that's the case, holy crap. Like that's a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
that's a lot of
I,
power.
I don't know about that. I mean, how much more powerful would you say the Xbox 360 is over the original Xbox?
Well, the over the original Xbox, there wasn't that much of a leap, but you got to remember that that was only a 4-year console cycle. We are now what, 6 years? No, yeah, we're 6 years in. This will be the seventh year. So technology has come a long way in those 6 years, much more than it did between the Xbox and the Xbox 360 era. So, I mean, the big thing is that the it's not just power, but it's what developers can do with atmosphere and sound, everything like that. And something that's got 6 times as more power actually doesn't that doesn't mean it's going to be super expensive either, because you can build a pretty good gaming machine that's got, 8 gigs of RAM, pretty good GPU, pretty good processor for about $500. So Microsoft could easily make a console that's 6 times as powerful as the 360 and sell that thing for $300. So I mean, I think this rumor is probably true. I don't think it's far fetched at all, but like I understand people have their doubts, but I think it's easily plausible.
Right. Well, I'm normally not one for, cutting edge technology and, the best of the best graphics or, what have you. We could have all the games that released on the Xbox 360 be exactly like Mega Man 9, 8-bit graphics and all that, and I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, that's
But
I'd be okay with that too. I mean, and
I mean, I'm more worried about gameplay and what can they do that isn't a rehash, a reboot, a remake. I just want to see something new. I don't want to see you know this game that you loved back in the day now with amazing HD graphics. Yeah, I'm not looking for that.
sure, yeah, I definitely. I'm not one to, remakes are not my cup of tea either. I'll still play them, but the 6 times as powerful makes a lot of sense, but it's only a matter of time till those things unveil. But that's the other part, is Microsoft also says that they're not going to be unveiling the Xbox this year, um, and this was translated from a French website, and pretty much the guy said it's premature to announce the Xbox anytime this year, and it's definitely not launching this year. But at the same time, I don't think the console's launching, but I still think we're going to see this thing sometime this year. They could pull what they did with Natal and just kind of tease it, but there's no way they're not going to. I think I think they have to announce it this year.
Hmm. I don't know about that. Like I said, I'm comfortable where we're at right now. And at this point, it's just a matter of time. I mean, we're just waiting to see if Sony's going to pull the trigger, if Microsoft's going to pull the trigger, and that's where we stand right now.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's obviously already pulled the trigger with the Wii U, but I feel like Microsoft wants to beat Sony out the door, and if they don't, I can't see them not at least teasing it this year, saying, "Hey, it's coming out next year." I mean, this year we obviously have like Halo 4, and that's honestly about the only big game we know from Microsoft at the moment. But that's the thing, is what else are they working on? And I think it's time to bring some of those franchises into the next generation. So I think they definitely got to be working on a new box. But E3 is still a while away. So, and obviously the guy's not going to be like, "Oh yeah, we're announcing the next Xbox at E3."
Yes, the game will probably still be right for all of us, but could it also be a perfect fit just for you? And the answer to that question is an emphatic absolutely. In fact, we're so convinced of it that we put that pronoun right in the name. So today, welcome to the world of Wii U.
And the final topic that we're going to cover is Nintendo and the Wii U. We have some new information about the Wii U, but as well as Nintendo's online network. Nintendo has officially unveiled the Nintendo Network, which will debut on the 3DS, but will also be the Wii U's online system. Nintendo Network is very similar to something like, it's more similar to PlayStation Network, to where they are going to offer downloadable content for games. They are going to allow for people to chat with each other via text and a voice chat, obviously. But what they're saying is there's no more friend codes. It's going to be a lot for some games. There's going to be a lobby system, but they're also giving a lot of power to the developers to say, we're going to have a general overlay. You kind of do what you want to do. So it sounds like, honestly, it sounds like PSN, but with a couple new features. Voice chat obviously is already in there, but
It
party
sounds
chat.
like it sounds like Nintendo's finally getting it together on the internet, on playing games online. I mean, we've been waiting for this for games like Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers. I mean, there's no really easy way to play games with your friends, and now hopefully this is gonna pan out.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
DLC that opens up so many opportunities, like new levels in Mario, new characters in Smash Brothers, new tracks in Mario Kart. I mean, just all the games that we've wanted DLC for, we might finally get it.
And that's exciting because has always been against DLC for the simple reason they say we like to ship finished products. We don't want to ship something to where we have content planned in the future. And that's something I always kind of respected Nintendo for, because in this day where you've got Project $10 and DLC on the disc, you just get an unlock code. I
But could
was
you imagine Project $10 for a Zelda game? That's a scary thought.
Well, I don't think Nintendo would ever do that. But then again, who knows? I mean, to compete, maybe they would. But the it's the other part is this has to happen because if you want to see Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, Call of Duty, Black Ops 17 on the Wii U, then it's got to have a good online system that at least is as good as Xbox Live and PSN, um, because the friend code thing just doesn't work. it just
Right.
doesn't. It just doesn't work. I've tried playing Super Smash Bros. With friends, and oh my, it is not a fun
Well,
experience.
even without a friend code, just like trying to find a random match online, that was damn near impossible.
And it was laggy as hell, and you just only like you had no customization whatsoever. It was 2 minute battles or something like that.
Right.
Something weird. So, I, I mean, to be able to play games from Nintendo online, like that blows my mind. And even though that's so simple, like that's what I've always secretly wanted. I think so.
Right.
It's only a matter of time. Wii U, can't wait. Other piece of news is that the president of Nintendo, Iwata, has confirmed that the Wii U will be launching during the holiday period of 2012. So that means October to December. So the idea, there's rumors once again flying around that, oh hey, we're going to launch it in September. Not going to happen. It will be launching probably November. I mean, that's when everybody seems to launch everything. So that's I mean I guess the some people wanted like that surprise where it's like, oh, it's launching in September and that's only 3 months away, but we'll have to wait to November and our wallets will be empty.
Hmm. That yeah. I Speaking of wallets, we need a price, a
Yeah,
general idea of what the price is going to be, though. I mean, what are you thinking?
I still say 350.
I'm somewhere around 350, 400.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be 250. I mean, I think the controller alone is going to put the. I mean, I think the console itself is 250, and the controller is going to add $100 to it. So
Right.
that's to me. I mean, that's still not really high. I mean, that's for. I think 400 is getting to that spot where it's just like, well, then you got to think about games, and then you got tax, and suddenly your $400 system becomes 500. But for 350, you can walk out with a Wii U, whatever launches Mario Kart, whatever, for only a little bit over $400. I think people are okay with that. So,
Right.
but how much the extra controller is going to cost if it can support more controllers? That's the other problem.
Somewhere around 100 to
Probably 150.
yes, yeah.
But then
Still a bit steep.
yeah, that's that's really steep actually. But we'll see. And then the final piece of news. Actually, this one is not a piece of news. It's a rumor. Is that during the investors call where most of the stuff was announced that Nintendo might have hinted that they might be changing the name of the Wii U. The reason behind it being that the 3DS before it launched and during its launch, Nintendo had the feeling that some consumers thought it wasn't actually a new DS because of the DS name. They said, "Oh, it's just a DS with the 3D gimmick," but in reality, it was a whole new system. I mean, it had a new screen, it had slider pad, it had different buttons. I mean, it was a whole new system, different graphics chips and everything. So people are suggesting that Nintendo might have kind of said, "Hey, the Wii U, we're kind of worried that people are going to think it's just another like an attachment or an accessory to the Wii, and we don't want that to happen. We want people to know it's a brand new system."
Right.
Um, and that's honestly, I mean, if you watch the Wii U press conference, they didn't even talk about the console until after it. I mean, they focused just on the tablet itself. And if you didn't, I mean, if you don't follow technology, it could have been pretty easy to think that this was just a tablet, like that's all it was, and the Wii wasn't anything to do with. I mean, there wasn't a new system; it was just the old Wii. So
Right. I mean, I'm kind of getting tired of this trend of just name the console after whatever the last console was. I mean, we had PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, and then we had Xbox, Xbox 360. I don't want to go from Wii to Wii U. I like having a console with its own name.
Well, that and it's I I still feel like a lot of people got burned by the Wii in terms of they bought one and then they never played it. They bought it for Wii
Right.
Sports and something like that. And then when they say like they hear the name Wii U, like, oh, like that's Nintendo's new system. Well, I already have a Wii. Like I don't I
Well,
don't
not
need
not only just the name of the Wii, but I think the overall design of the system, and maybe even the color scheme, that eggshell white that you see on the Wii, and you see it in the Wii U images for the tablet.
right.
I mean, that even small things like those can be like, oh, it's like a Wii. I didn't like the Wii very much. I don't know if I'll like this new thing.
That's I believe they need to change the name. That's for the simple fact of the Wii. The Wii has come and gone. I mean, that's fine. The Wii had did its thing. Microsoft and Sony are still trying to, you know, get into that crowd, but I think that ship has sailed. So I think it's time to bring out a new console that doesn't have anything to do with the Wii. Yes, I can play my Wii games, but that doesn't mean that it needs to be called the Wii. So
Right.
only time will tell. I still like the name Nintendo Stream. I thought Nintendo Stream that was a cool name.
Oh, would you see that at?
That was a rumored for the code name for it. That was a while ago, and that's because it can stream games to the tablet. So I think someone just made it up. But I thought that was a cool name.
I think they should just call it the Super Wii
Super duper Wii. There you go.
or the Wii 64.
I would be down with the Super Wii just because it's reminiscent of SNES. So
Exactly.
that's fine with me. So. That's going to do it for this episode of the Pause Menu. You can subscribe to our YouTube page to get updates on our newest videos from the Pause Menu, as well as our reviews. We got reviews coming for Soul Calibur, SSX, Mass Effect, all the big games. We'll have reviews up for that. You can subscribe to our podcast for the Love of Gaming podcast at forlogpc.com. And that's going to do it. So please subscribe and definitely rate us, tell your friends, and we will see you next time.
See ya.